Diane in Denmark here, and welcome back. Ta-da! It's number 15. It's the final Super Cruising Mission, and you can use these missions, as I've been saying every day, you can use these missions to plan whatever celebration you are planning, whether it be an 18th birthday party or Christmas. Can you tell it's looking a lot like Christmas around here in Denmark? We're just using these missions, and remember, you just do them at your own pace. You know, you just start with number 1 and work your way forward. But if you were with us for the general cruising missions, we did those through the month of October and November, and we were just doing it in baby steps, like how we use, how we use the rest of the Flylady system. And we were just using our general daily focus. The missions at that point were just our usual daily focus, like on when you were doing your weekly home blessing hour, when you're setting your timer and going around the house, checking to see if there was any junk that you could get out of the house, or any more recycling or boxes that needed to go out. Tuesdays, plan and play day in Flylady Land, we were just planning ahead. If you were planning the wedding, get your guest list written down, who's going to be invited. If you're planning for Christmas, were you traveling, booking flights, like I was. And we've just been using the Flylady's daily focus to work up to organising whatever celebration it is, Christmas, Ramadan, 50th birthday party. And then we are into the super cruising missions, and this is what you're watching now. There are 15 super cruising missions, and I know many of you will have clicked on this one because you haven't done any of them and you want to know what's at the very end. You don't need to go back and do the missions that we were doing in October, November. Just start with the super cruising missions, because they encompass everything that we've been doing, and we're just kind of tying up these loose odds and ends, checking our lists, making sure that we've got all our bases covered. And in the super cruising missions, we have been doing a bit of cleaning, we've been organising, I've been getting the guest bedroom ready, we have been buying gifts, we've been wrapping gifts, we have been checking our supplies at home, and when we're in each zone of Flylady, do we need more toilet paper, do we need more coffee? Just planning ahead so that we're not leaving all those things until the very last minute. And today we are on to number 15, and it's the end of the road. But it's not really the end of the road. This is when you get to enjoy whatever celebration you have been planning. And we started off, hopefully, if you haven't done it now, go and do it right now. I mean, stop this video, stop everything and go and do it. Print off the Flylady's Holiday Control Journal. I made a video and I walked you through what it was, and it's just a checklist. It's a blueprint of what you need to organise your special occasion. And if you have printed it off, maybe now is the time, if you haven't already done it, to get it into a folder, because this is my one that I started in 2006, and I've been adding to it. And in here I've got recipes that I use for Christmas. I've got all the Christmas gift lists, so I can see what I gave people back in 2008, so I'm not kind of repeating things, or maybe repeating things again but in a different way. And I've got the song, I had the songbooks in here because I think I've told you before, Christmas in Denmark, after our main meal, we dance around the Christmas tree hand in hand and we sing songs. And the other day I took the songbooks out of here and put them in the dining room so we are all ready to go. So what you're going to do today is, as usual, going to set your trusty timer, going to check through one more time, is there anything that you have not done yet? Or do you have perhaps a parcel that you still have to wrap up? Have you got gifts that you still need to wrap? Do you have parcels that you need to send at the post office? Do you have dry cleaning to pick up? What about food? Are you going to be making some easy peasy shortbread or easy peasy fudge? I've got videos on how to do that up there. What about you? Have you taken time for yourself? Because I've been saying this right through the Super Cruising missions. In December, the Flylady habit is looking after you. And I know a lot of you have a difficulty with this, which is why we need to do it every day. You know, we have to practice it like everything else, like shining our sink and dressing to shoes. It takes practice, but it's going to give you so much. So sit down today and just be. That's all I'm asking you to do. You don't need to spend a lot of time on it. Even if you can just sit for 2 or 3 minutes and just be, just breathe, instead of running around looking after everybody else and worrying about things. Just take a few minutes just to be. That's all. And if you can, you know, paint your nails or get outside and have a walk. Actually, I'm kind of sitting here in the half light today because I don't know if you can pick it up outside, but we've actually got snowflakes. Yeah, how cool is that? I was down for my swim, my skinny dip this morning with my friends. That's my me time. And we cycled down, and when we came out of the water, snowflakes were coming down, so that was really pretty, just magical. And the temperature, just for those who are interested, the air temperature this morning was 1 degree Celsius, which I think is 33 Fahrenheit, but very windy, so I don't know what the wind chill factor was, but I had my earmuffs on, and only my earmuffs, when I was skinny dipping. And the water temperature right now is 5 or 6 degrees centigrade, which is 41 Fahrenheit, if I remember rightly. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say to you today, we are at number 15, so you know we're hopefully ready for whatever celebration you are planning. But I want to give you some tips if you're still feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start. Let me just grab something and I shall show you what I hope will help you. Just hold on. I've told you before about the Getting Things Done system, and that I love using that system together with Flylady in order to keep me organised and to organise my thoughts. And often the overwhelmed feeling comes with you not knowing where to start. The Flylady gives you the plan for what to do for the house, you know, which zone we're working in, and that works nicely. But sometimes we also have all these random thoughts jumbling around in our heads, and I find the GTD system works really well for that. I did a playlist on helping you use the GTD system, Getting Things Done, a simple version of it. If you can go right into the Getting Things Done system and you can get all different kinds of apps. I'm just using it like I do with the Flylady system, just the basics of things, and that keeps me on the straight and narrow. And I told you about this before. If you have a day and you just do not know where to start, this is what I kind of have. I have mine in a notebook, and I have it on Google Keep on my telephone. But basically, all you're going to do is take a sheet of paper, just fold it into 4, or you can just draw a couple of lines. And when you have a thought of something that you need to do, or need to buy, or need to discuss, we put it down here so that when you have time, you are working effectively. Now, let me just explain. So I've got a section here, and the GTD system can be used, you know, it started off as being used for offices, you know, for executives and offices. You can use the same system at home, or if you work from home, it works very nicely. So here you have home. If you're using it at the office, you know, at office, anything that can be done inside the home, and that could be decorating the house. You think, oh, I haven't got the Christmas decorations up. Write that down. You need to change the sheets in the guest bedroom, perhaps. Put that down there. So anything that you can do while you're actually physically in your house or in your garden, for example, The next one is things outside, anything that's away from home. So any kind of errands, if you've got things to pick up, things to buy, the library, do you need to write that down? Do you need to hand off things at the charity store, at the thrift store, you know, things that you've decluttered. So anything that is outside of the house, so that when you go outside of the house, you have your list ready and you don't forget anything. You see how that works? And when you're working at home, you go to this list. Oh yeah, I need to do this and that and this. Instead of having, you know, a to-do list that is just one big long thing and then you don't know where to start. Anything that you need to discuss with somebody else before you can move forward on that project. Maybe you need to discuss with your significant other what last minute gifts are you getting for somebody in the family. Maybe you need to discuss changing the hot water boiler, you know, whatever it is. Something that you need to discuss with somebody else before you can move forward on that project. And the last one is, I mean, there are plenty of different categories you can use here, but these are the basic ones that I use. And anything on the phone or computer. So next time I am at the computer, I can, you know, write to the council about a query on a bill, or order something from Amazon, or send an email. And the same with phone. If I am standing in a queue, I hate standing in queues in shops, I can look at my list and see, oh, were there any text messages that I can send? And you know what it is? It's the season of goodwill to all men. Maybe if you're standing in a queue and you're bored, you can send a little text to somebody that you love or to the kids and just say, have a nice day. So by having this little list, instead of not knowing where to start, we have it set up into categories, and that way we are not wasting our own time, and it gives us, you know, a checklist and a blueprint, so we know which way we should be looking, instead of looking all over the place and not being able to focus. But anyway, I'll go more into the getting things done system. We'll be doing that again next year. And that leads me to my final message. It's the last of the Super Cruising missions. You know me, I post all the time on YouTube and on Instagram. Come and join us if you're not found us on Instagram yet, Diane in Denmark. And I was thinking that, you know, we're coming up to the new year. Everybody's got goals, wishes. So I think we're going to do a little Flylady boot camp, a GTD boot camp. So at the end of December, beginning of January, get ready to rumble, because what I want to do, and what I've always been doing with this Flylady thing, is not completely changing who I am. I'm still the same person I was before Flylady, before GTD, but I'm just the new improved version. You know, like they always used to say with the washing powder, new, improved. So I am the new improved Diane since I've been using these systems, and that's what I want for you. So we're going to do a little boot camp at the end of December. We'll start maybe at the end of December, or definitely the 1st of January, because everybody wants to start 1st of January. And if you haven't already done them, you can always start with the Flylady baby steps. You know, the Flylady's 31 baby steps that will take you from chaos to clean. The playlist is there. If you haven't done them before, it's really worth doing them, because it takes you through all the different aspects of the system. And you may question things in the beginning, and be careful if you start asking too many questions. It's, you know, you're a bit rebellious, and also it's also an excuse to not do things. So careful if you're one of these people, like I always am as well, asking too many questions. That's maybe a sign that you're trying to get out of doing something and making excuses. So, but anyway, all about that in another video. I hope you have a wonderful celebration, whatever it is you have been planning. I'm really looking forward to Christmas with the family, looking forward to seeing my mum. I'm going over to see her in the next couple of days. So that is it for me. Diane in Denmark, where we have snowflakes today. What could be more appropriate? And I shall see you very soon. Live long and prosper, and have a good day out there. Okay, see you soon.